Hi everyone, it's Susan Shahada, and I want to talk to you about acknowledging our inner shadow. So first of all, definitions. The shadow is an aspect of our consciousness that carries the limiting beliefs around it. So, for example, feelings of anger, feelings of fear, feelings of jealousy, these are all aspects of our consciousness that are what I consider more dense, heavier feelings, things, as I said, that can bring a lot of limitation into our life. And we all have these aspects of ourself that are sometimes referred to as the shadow self. So the shadow self is something, as I said, that we all have. And the way I like to see it is that it is a little seed inside of our consciousness, and our goal would be to root out these seeds before they turn into weeds that we need to also tend to. But they are bigger and bigger. We can obviously deal with them once they are weeds as well, but it's even better if we can get them at the source. So there's two ways in which we feed these little seeds. One is that we basically just refuse to acknowledge these shadow aspects of ourself altogether. When we refuse to see these aspects of self, it gives them the space to grow. Again, I like this idea of the weed metaphor, where if I'm just ignoring an area of my garden, suddenly it's going to have a lot of growth, a lot of things that I may or may not, want growing in that area of the garden. So that just basic ignoring of these aspects of ourself allow this consciousness to grow inside of ourself until suddenly we're really overwhelmed with these feelings of anger, overwhelmed with these feelings of jealousy, of fear, all of that. So that's one way that this aspect of consciousness grows. The other way that I see commonly is that we witness it, but we witness it with a lot of judgment around it. When we witness it with a lot of judgment around it, it creates more of the same kind of feeling. It can create shame, and shame, it has a very similar constitution to some of these other feelings. So it's a lot of that same density, that same heaviness, and that also allows this shadow self to grow, because now we're feeding it with that same type of energy. So these are the two ways, as I said, that this aspect of our consciousness can grow inside of us, either by ignoring it altogether or by witnessing it, but witnessing it with a lot of judgment. So ideally, what do? We have more mindfulness around it. We begin to witness these aspects of ourself without judgment. Now, easier said than done, I understand that, and this is a lifelong process and practice, but you begin to be able to witness these aspects of yourself and recognize that it doesn't make you a bad person by feeling these things. It doesn't make you a bad person for feeling anger or feeling jealousy or feeling shame or any of these feelings. It makes you a person. So not a bad person, a person. We all have these feelings. The feelings are there for a reason. They're usually showing us something. They're indicating something to us. So it's really important that we acknowledge those feelings. We don't want to ignore them. We don't want to dismiss them. We don't want to judge them. We want to welcome them with a sense of, hey, anger, hey, fear, I see you. I see that you're trying to tell me something. What is the message that you have for me? Because in a lot of ways, when we're judging these feelings, that's going to put a mask over it, over our eyes, a veil, so to speak, so that we are unable to actually see what the feeling is trying to communicate to us. The more we can learn how to witness these feelings without judgment around them, the more we will see and identify why they're there in the first place. So, number one, as I said, we have to learn how to start witnessing this shadow aspect of ourself. And I really invite you into starting to practice this on a daily or weekly basis, where you just once you have the feeling coming up inside of yourself, can you ask that feeling perhaps why it is there and what it is there to tell you, rather than going immediately into judgment of the feeling. All right. Well, there you go. Thanks for listening.